Um, but I'm having a Cabernet, and I thought I would share with everyone. It's a full glass. Oh, you can't see it either, can you?
Put it in front of your
Oh,
shirt. There you go.
And I am using my commemorative Roswell Wine Festival glass for the evening.
Nice.
So look at
Oh,
there.
so is Peggy.
Peggy.
There you go. Oh, great.
Wonderful.
I have a whole collection of these.
I bet you do.
I hope the group on here does as well.
Bet you do.
Very good.
Well, if we want to get started, I just want to start off. Thank you all first for supporting the Wine Festival. We're so excited to have grown with you, because I know many of, we were talking about glasses, many of you all have been joining us for years and years and have seen what an event has been able to do for the community. As you all recall, we donate proceeds to charity, and 'tis the season for giving. So we're so excited to benefit Historic Roswell Beautification Project this year. In terms of Wine Festival, I am Peggy Robinson. I am the co-founder of the Roswell Wine Festival. We have been putting on the event for 9 years, and 2023 marks our 10th year. So what better way to celebrate our 10-year anniversary than have you all join us on a cruise to France? So we've been working with one of our partners, Chris Lay from Dream Vacations, who's been fantastic in terms of sourcing opportunities for cruises. So I'm so excited for him to share and talk about the cruise, along with his partner, Rob Huffman, directly from the cruise line. So we have an exciting lineup for you. If you have any questions, we're going to just let us know. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you have any Wine Festival questions, you can direct those to me. But thank you all for joining us, and I can't wait to hear what Chris and Rob have to present to us tonight.
Thank you, Peggy. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I'm excited about tonight, and I'm excited about working with Peggy and Dwight and everybody from the Roswell Wine Festival and Alpharetta Wine Festival. They've been fantastic to work with, and I'm so glad to have the opportunity to share this cruise with you all, because I've had the chance to sail with AMA Waterways, and it is just fantastic. It has been one of my favorite experiences so far. I've been in this business for going on 5 years now, and had the chance to travel all over places and around the world, experience different types of travel. And again, AMA Waterways ranks among the best that I've experienced. I personally like it because when I travel, I like to be a little bit pampered. I like a kind of luxury experience, but I like it to be pretty relaxed. I don't like stuffiness. And that's exactly what I enjoyed about AMA Waterways. Is the service was incredibly personal and friendly, and yet it was a luxury experience that I enjoyed a lot. The excursions when you're going out into the various villages and cities are just incredible. They're very intense in that you get to meet people, the locals, and learn about the culture and experience the sites and the history in a way that a lot of other opportunities just don't allow. And so again, it's been one of my favorite experiences, and one that I really enjoy sharing with others. Excuse me. So I'm excited about this opportunity. And just a few weeks ago, I was in Provence, and it was fantastic. It was beautiful there in November. We had a great time just exploring southern France and enjoying that time. And so I can't wait to go back with you all next year for this wonderful wine cruise. Tonight, Rob Huffman from AMA Waterways is here to join us and share more about the cruise, about AMA Waterways, and to help you understand what kind of company it is and what kind of experience you will have. We know with river cruises that there are a lot of companies out there that you don't often hear from, because they don't advertise the way that maybe one or two others do a lot of. And so it's a great opportunity to learn about one of these companies and the way that they do things in such a personable, enjoyable, pleasurable way that you leave wanting to go back and do it again and again. You really become part of the family, and these folks become your friends. And so I'm excited for Rob to get started, and I'm going to hand things off to him to share with us. Thank you, Rob.
You bet. Chris, thanks so much. Peggy, thank you both. On behalf of Chris and Peggy and myself, we truly appreciate you all for taking some time this evening and to come and learn a little bit about AMA Waterways and this wonderful cruise that we have to offer all of you. Excuse me, as Chris mentioned, My name is Rob Huffman. I'm the Business Development Manager for AMA Waterways. I cover the Southeastern United States. And this evening, we're going to go through and we're going to share a little bit about who we are, right? We're going to talk a little bit about software. We're going to talk hardware. We're going to talk destination. And we're going to focus on an itinerary that Peggy and Chris have chosen for you that happens to be, and I promise you, I'm not just saying this, probably my favorite itinerary that's out there. So very excited to share with you. And similar to Chris, while not just a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to sail Provence, the Colors of Provence itinerary back in May. Just absolutely, second or third time I've done it, fell in love all over again. So excited to share that with you. And AMA Waterways, and Chris kind of touched on this briefly, we're delighted to have you all join us. But at the same time, we want to spend a little time, in addition to the topics I mentioned a moment ago, talking about some of the things that differentiate us from some of our friendly competitors. Perhaps some of you have taken a river cruise in the past. Perhaps you've done some research, but haven't quite made that decision or taken that leap. And so we're going to speak to some of those things as well. And at AMA Waterways, you may not realize it, but I get asked quite frequently, what does AMA stand for, Rob? Is it an acronym? Is there some meaning behind it? Well, at AMA Waterways, we're about one thing. It's love. And for us, that love at AMA Waterways starts with these three people that you see here. These are our owners. The gentleman on the left, his name is Rudy Schreiner. And Rudy's considered the godfather of river cruising. Believe it or not, Rudy was instrumental in starting three other very prominent river cruise lines. He was actually the president of a very large, very well recognized river cruise line in the late 90s, early 2000s. And it was there that he met his future bride, Christine Karst, who was also an executive at this organization, at this other river cruise line. Well, they decided they wanted to go out and start their own brand. And so they left that product and they met a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Murphy. Jimmy, at the time, was the principal with another travel business by the name of Brendan Vacations. He sold that company to another entity within the travel industry and took the proceeds and joined Rudy and Christine. And 20 years ago this year, we launched AMA Waterways. Unfortunately, in 2014, Jimmy passed away. But his son, Gary, who had been serving with us for over a decade, picked up Jimmy's legacy and went right with us and joined Rudy and Christine. And the Murphy family is very much part of our ownership team. We're family owned, family operated. And we truly mean when we say love, that love starts with these three people that you see here. Now, perhaps many of you, again, may not have taken a river cruise, but perhaps have sailed on the oceans. And our philosophy at AMA Waterways, our belief is that oceans take you to countries, but rivers take you through them. If you've taken an ocean cruise in the past, you likely know you go around the outsides of countries, perhaps around islands, things of that nature. Whereas on a river cruise, you truly have the opportunity to immerse yourself in the destination, to wrap your arms around the culture, the traditions, the history, and certainly the cuisines of these local destinations that we travel to. There are a number of things that I really enjoy about a river cruise experience. But a couple of things just to point out. Number one, I get asked frequently on this particular slide, Rob, has this been photoshopped at all? Because the water looks really placid, very calm. That's another great feature of a river cruise. You don't have to worry about motion discomfort. We truly do glide upriver and glide downriver. Probably my favorite thing about a river cruise experience, though, well, two quick things. Number one, if you've ever taken a land-based European escorted tour, it's very similar to a river cruise, but I'm a little biased. I think we have a leg up on those guys. And here's my philosophy as it relates to that. If you've ever done one of those tours, you know you get back to your hotel room, typically 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. You have just enough time to get your new clothes out of your bag, put your old clothes in your bag, and put your bags outside by your door because you've got to be downstairs at the crack of dawn the next morning to hop on a motor coach. Well, with a European river cruise and AMA Waterways river cruise, you don't have that hassle. We're sailing the highways of yesteryear, and you sail in comfort on one of our luxurious ships, going from one fantastic port to the other. That other thing that I really like about a river cruise is the overwhelming majority of the time we pull right into the heart of the destination, lower the gangway, and off you go. You literally take a dozen, maybe 2 dozen steps, and you're in the heart of the destination. There's no queuing up with 500, 1,000 of your closest friends waiting to get off the ship. Or better yet, my favorite, right? When you pull close to the destination and you have to get off of your ship onto another water vessel to take you into port. You don't have that hassle with the river cruise. Now, we could spend a lot of time this evening talking about the onboard experience, but I promised Peggy and Chris we wouldn't capitalize or take advantage of your time this evening. So we've already talked about family owned and operated. We've talked about motion discomforts. You don't have to worry about that. We're going to talk about a lot of these other bullet points throughout the course of our conversation this evening as well. But I always go back to that AMA Waterways love. The dedication and the warmth from our staff and crew is truly tangible. And on board the ships, it starts with our captain, as you see here, welcoming our guests into dinner. All of our staff and crew have been professionally trained, all English speaking, and I promise you, their number one objective is to exceed your expectations as our guests. Another great advantage of a river cruise has to be the fact you have access to local regional entertainers. I had the opportunity to sail just last month, and I was on the Danube actually. And as we approached Budapest, we had a Hungarian dance troupe that came aboard and performed for us. Earlier this year, when I was in Provence, we had a string quartet that performed. We had a flamenco team that came aboard and performed. This is all in addition to the local, your pianist or your vocalist that you will have aboard the ships as well. Now, I want to start to share a few things that we believe at AMA Waterways truly do differentiate us from our friendly competitors. And I want to start with you by talking a little bit about our cruise managers. You're probably thinking, Rob, okay, cruise lines, Riverline, everybody has cruise managers. What makes AMA Waterways so different? Well, at AMA Waterways, or I should start with typically within the industry, when you take a river cruise, you have the opportunity either before or after your cruise to extend your time with us with what we call a pre or a post extension. Most of the other river cruise lines, if you participate in one of those pre or post extensions, will fly you into the airport. They'll meet you there, take you to the hotel where you're met by a tour company that then provides services for you until you get to the ship. Once you get to the ship, that's where you meet their staff, their crew. And at the end of your cruise, if you do a post extension, then they say, thanks for joining us. Their transfers downstairs. Someone from the tour company will meet you at the hotel. That's not the way we operate at AMA Waterways. Our cruise managers are with you the entire time. You fly into the airport, we transfer you to the hotel. Our cruise manager is waiting for you. They go with you on all of your tours, your meals. They're with you. And then when you go to the ship for your cruise, they're with you that entire time as well. They're the cruise manager for all the guests aboard the vessel. At the end of your cruise, should you extend via a post extension, our cruise manager goes with you there as well. That's just a type of service. That's what our customers expect when they sail AMA Waterways, and certainly the level of service that we're proud to deliver.